East, you know. They always tell us, oh, you know, but we were out of the Middle East when they attacked us on 9/11. No, we weren't. What the fuck are you talking about? We had done horrible things to them just right before that. We need to get the fuck out of there. Just leave it alone, you know. If people attack us, we need to defend ourselves, but not in terms of sending, you know, troops over to destroy our country. These guys are fucking idiots. We've given them the power that they have in terms of all their equipment, and then when we talk about them and fear them around the world, that gives them, that elevates them. It gives them oxygen, just like with Donald Trump. You know, how could Donald Trump have been defeated by not, you know, giving him, you know, a third of the attention that you did? You guys, I mean, Americans aren't smart. They're not smart. You put a guy on TV all the time screaming about crazy stuff, they're going to be like, oh, well, you know, I love this guy, blah, blah, blah. He's on, I mean, if he would have just had zero, you know, people broadcasting his message so much, people might not have even cared enough to watch, you know, or you know, they wouldn't have gone and found out what he's saying, you know. They would have just paid attention to whatever the mainstream media is showing them daily, and then they would have decided by, you know, whoever the mainstream media tries to pretend that the people, you know, that they figure out what the people are thinking, and then they report it to you. No, they figure out what their, you know, bosses and rich people are thinking, and then they report that to you, and then, you know, they do it so much that it gets into your head and you start believing it. And that's the way it really works. They are convincing the people what to believe, not the people telling the news what to say. That's just, sometimes they do, but other times, most of the time, complete garbage. Making the First Lady's guest list. Oh, the American heroes. You know, that was pretty heroic how they saved all those people on the train. But, you know, I mean, all they did was stop a fucking idiot. That he had a gun. I'm not downplaying what they did whatsoever. I think that was great. You know, this guy is a hero for sure. He really got hurt. But, you know, the guy that was on that train was a fucking idiot. And they even said so, you know. They were like, I don't think he really knew what he was doing with his gun. I mean, you know, that's what ISIS picks. They pick these fucking retards and tell them, you know, oh, when you blow up the suicide vest, it's not going to actually kill you, you know. It's going to blow only outwards and kill everybody in front of you. I've heard, they have told people that, you know. They don't tell these guys that. They tell the little children that. They tell the little children that the bomb will just blow up in front of them and they'll be alive and it'll just kill whoever's in front of them. They tell children that. I mean, they you know, it's so funny how hypocrisy exists the way it does, you know. We are such hypocrites in terms of, you know, being so flabbergasted by these terrorists. Of course they exist. Look at the things we've done in the Middle East. All the innocent people we fucking killed. All the terror. I mean, that is like Nazi Germany because of us, because of the police state that's been created. You know, checkpoints everywhere and people, you know, their houses getting raided, just like Israel. The Muslims in Israel must be fucking miserable. And, yeah, I mean, it's hilarious how Israel has become this right-wing, fucking Nazi-esque, you know, control police state. It's all in terms because they want to protect themselves, because they're afraid. Fear turns people into fucking Nazis. Fear turns people into fucking Nazis. Even the people who were abused by the Nazis will turn into fucking Nazis out of their own fear of the Nazis. I mean, people in America right now are becoming ISIS. The hardcore Christians out there that are, you know, these militia guys and shit, you know, they are becoming ISIS, you know. Let's get all the goddamn Muslims out of the country. You know, the first thing ISIS says, let's get all these goddamn Christians out of the country. That they become them out of their fear of them to fight them. It's like, oh my God, that's the last thing that you should be doing because I'm never going to believe in you because of that, you know. The way that you fucking fight those assholes is start drawing pictures of Muhammad and let's fucking drop them in a plane, you know. Let's drop 1,000 million pamphlets of Muhammad drawings all over Damascus. How fucking great would that be, you know? Instead of bombs, let's drop a bunch of fucking cartoons. Let's drop a bunch of fucking, instead of that, you know, that'll offend the other Muslims that are living there with them. Let's drop a bunch of propaganda down all over Damascus about how ISIS are a bunch of fucking, you know, dumbasses and idiots and have the population, you know, laughing at them behind their backs. That would be a really great thing and a way to fight against these assholes. We have to make them out as cartoons and idiots so that they're people start believing, you know, that they are, you know, start seeing, hey, these guys are cartoons and idiots, you know. Let's fucking stop them. Now, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I just don't think that going and killing people and bombing people and maiming people is the way to convince them that we're right. That's just fucking wrong. The way to convince them we're right is to fucking let them into this country for free and let them fucking see what's up and be loving towards them and show them, hey, I remember the first time I ever met a Muslim. It was in high school. His name is Mehdi. I loved him. He was awesome. He came from Tunisia to our country. I live in this small-ass little town in Indiana full of a bunch of racists. And it was like right after 9/11. Or he came right before 9/11. So, it was pretty insane. I remember right after 9/11, his brother got attacked viciously in the fucking basketball court. He got attacked viciously because, they were like, oh, we are Muslims, so fuck you. And I remember talking to him and being like, I'm so sorry that happened, man. I'm so sorry that somebody did that because that doesn't represent me. And he liked me, man. All the brothers. There's 3 brothers. Muhammad, Mehdi were 2 I knew. The oldest one, I forget his name. But they were all, that was the first time I ever met Muslims, and what I did was try and be their friends. And Mehdi, I ran cross country, I got Mehdi to come out for the cross country team, and we just became good friends and laughed and joked, and he is like ultra Americanized now. He went to IU, he graduated, he's a great kid, and he's ultra Americanized because of me. I don't want to take all the credit, but because somebody was nice to him and reached out and treated him like a instead of pushing him away and being like, oh, you wear a headscarf, or he obviously didn't wear a headscarf. He didn't even care about Islam really, but a lot of people treated them horribly. I mean, Muhammad was the older brother. He was an outcast. I mean, I was one of the only people that even talked to him, and I felt so bad for him all the time because I thought, this is a smart, witty guy. He would laugh at the things I would say. And I would say, things another American would say about our military or about our government, and he would laugh and smile. And he was obviously not a terrorist or something, he was just witty and smart. And he was sad because he was all alone and nobody wanted to be his friend. And, that's the way that you turn Muslims into terrorists. That's the way, they build up hatred and resentment inside themselves because, they were treated like shit or they did have their family murdered or something, And so the way that we combat terrorism and this bullshit ideology of believe in whatever I believe in or I'll kill you is making them out to be fools, showing everybody that they are cartoonish fools who don't even believe in what they say. That's how you beat America even. We don't believe in what we say, and if you think we do, you've been duped by the worst kind. So I'm sorry, but you need to re-examine all your beliefs and fucking, put yourself together as a new person because, you failed in life. Bye. When I, was in the last year of high school and my first year of college, I kind of re-examined myself and beliefs. I've been examining myself over the last, 8 years. And I feel that's really important. It's very important to know who you are inside, know yourself in and out, and what you think about things, and why. Ask a million people, why are you a Christian? Why do you believe in Christianity? Well, I was raised that way. I mean, that's your answer? That blows my mind. What? Like, you believe all this, so if you were born, in fucking Saudi Arabia, you'd be a Muslim? No, I wouldn't say that. Well, that's what you just said, you fucking idiot. And people don't even get, I was raised that way, or, well, my parents were Christian. What? You need to go back and re-examine that and understand, why do you believe what you believe? Why do you say the things you say? Why? Why do you think them? Why? I'm not a Christian because, when I look at stories in the Bible, I laugh. They're hilarious. They are ridiculous. This was written, thousands of years ago by people who had no idea what they were talking about when it came to, anything but, fairy tales and myths. I mean, they were myth people, obviously. And, to think about it, in today's world, with all the technology and all we have and the amazing feats of engineering, we could not build an ark that would hold 2 of every animal on the planet on it. It would be impossible. And yet, people believe that this happened you know, with Noah's Ark, whenever the fuck thousands of years ago it happened. Why? Oh, because God did it. He was involved. You know, God can do anything. Well, then why doesn't he come down right now and stop, you know, ISIS and stop, you know, the suffering and misery all over the world? Well, because his ways are much higher than ours, and he's going to. He's going to. Why doesn't he right now? Because, you know, he's got a plan all figured out, you know, and the plan has got to... Well, why? Why does the plan have to go along? If he can do anything, why does he have to wait on the plan to come out? Why can't he just make the plan happen right now? If he can do anything, why can't he make the plan happen right now to where everything is set the way it needs to be for him to, you know, complete the final action? You know, it's just fucking ludicrous and nonsense, you know, but they'll just keep diving further into... You know, well, it's beyond our comprehension. No, it's not. It's not beyond my comprehension to understand that someone who is suffering and a God who can do anything, that is fucking contradictory and ridiculous. You know, that if there is a God who can do whatever the fuck he wants, he should just stop suffering. Just end it. Oh, well, they're going to learn from their suffering. Well, how about he creates it so that you don't have to learn from suffering? Why didn't he do that? You know, why didn't he create us to just know everything already then? You know, oh, because it's got to be this whole trick. Well, then how is he a good guy? Why do we have to be tricked, you know, into, you know, I can just go on forever like this. It's fucking nonsense. You're an idiot. Stop believing in that shit. Go back and read it and start thinking for real. And then go learn about religions that aren't yours, too. You know, go learn about Buddhism. Go learn about Islam. For God's sakes, I wish so badly that, you know, half the fucking idiots who talk about how much they hate ISIS. Oh, you know, I'm so patriotic, I hate those sons of bitches. I wish for a second that they knew anything.